All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. Thanks for joining. Going to talk a little Giants baseball tonight. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the band's more interesting than our subject, Lou. What do you think? I think I'd rather
just depends. Depends what the chat thinks. Depends what the chat thinks. It's all up to them.
Listen to some music rather than talk Giants baseball.
Well,
all right, everybody.
Music's more interesting.
Yeah. All right, let me turn this down a little bit. We'll.
Hey,
all right, guys. Let us thank our sponsor tonight. A couple of sponsors we want to give a shout out to. That would be Chapman Law Group. Check out Chapman Law Group if you have any legal matters. Chapman Law Group can help you. They're located in Marin. They specialize in all manners of law. Give them a call. It could be just you need some documents drawn up. Could be a living trust. Could be something of a civil, or it could be criminal. Give them a call. Chapman Law Group, 415-613-9483. And guys, we have a new sponsor, and that would be Betr. B-E-T-R, Betr. What you want to do is download the app to Betr. And by signing up with Betr, you can get a $250 first-time match by going on to Betr and putting in the promo code NCSN. That's right, NCSN. Download the app, BETR. Look them up on your iPhone or your Android. Download the app and put in the promo code NCSN. All right, Lou, let's get started.
I got a question. If I go on Betr and I put in the promo code, what do I get? Do they just know
If you put in the promo code, you get $250 additional. So when you
match,
you get a $250 match. So without the code, you don't about it. Without the code, you're not getting the free money. So
got it.
There you go. Hey, Cole, good to see you. All right, here's the link in the description, guys, for Betr. So click on the link in I don't know, it's in the chat. I don't know if we have it in the description. Ryan, it's in the description. Okay, and pinned in the comments. There you go. Code Beautiful. Is NCSN, link in description and pinned in the comments. All right, guys. Giants signed Justin Verlander yesterday, or Monday was that? Yesterday. That's right. I was having Taco Tuesday, and my wife and I were sitting down, just ordered, and I'm like waiting on the food, and I'm like, shoot, I got to go live here, and I'm in a restaurant, and so I said, hey, can you give me those tacos to go? And of course, I got a very understanding, loving wife who, take her out to dinner for the first time in a week or two. And she's just a trooper, says, let's go, get it to go. Let's go. We got to get on show.
She knows.
Yeah.
So you had it, you did the show, and she was nice enough to let you see the Warriors last night, and then you got sick watching them.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
It's like up and down, being a Bay Area sports fan, up and down.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of something that makes me sick right now is my heart goes out to the people in LA, Pacific Palisades, to all those people who have had to be evacuated. Maybe some have lost their homes. I don't know. I've been busy with work today. Is there a loss of life that has
I
been.
think I saw five people, but it's now in like 6 different parts of the LA area, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's probably it's 200 times worse than what we experience in Napa, just to show you. And
Wow.
they're having problems with water down there. All the firemen from Fresno are down there. It's it's horrible. It's some of the most expensive property in the United States, and unfortunately, a lot of these people are going to go back, and there'll be nothing there. So
yeah, it's just sad.
It happens.
Yeah.
So if you know anybody in LA, just check in, text them or call them. I've been doing that all day. Just let them know you care.
Yeah, I texted Ryan Smith, who's a buddy of the show, and
what about Boris?
Boris in Orange County. He's fine.
He's fine. He's far enough away.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's far enough away. Yeah, I checked on Ryan. He said no power, but he's fine, and thanked me for checking in on him.
Good.
I don't know if anybody else. I have lots of people I know in Southern California. I used to live down there in Southern California, and I was in the what they call it, the San Bernardino County. They called it
San Bernardino Mountains by Santa Anita. Then,
well, I used to drive. I used to drive Arcadia. I used to drive by Santa Anita on my way to work. Check this out. Growing up, I was in my 20s. I was working in the border of LA, Pasadena, right off the 210 and the 5 freeways, right where they the 5 converge, right?
Converges the 210. Yeah.
Instead of taking the 134 to Pasadena, I took the 134 out toward the 5.
Sure.
Toward anyway, I worked at a place called Ralph's Grocery, and I was in the 20s, and I used to drive from the Chino area. I lived out in Chino, Ontario area, and I would drive to work and listen to Vin Scully on my way in. I listened to back then it was Vin Scully and Jerry Doggett. And
did he say the same thing? Welcome to Dodger Baseball.
Absolutely. Welcome to Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dodger Baseball. And back then it was Farmer John. The hot dog.
For sure.
But as I listened to them, I drove right past Santa Anita on my way because I was taking that 210 out there. So, yes, I lived there from 1982 all the way till 95. Then I moved to Bakersfield and was in management. And then I ended up moving out to Connecticut. So I've been all over, but LA.
No, Dan. I was the same way. I worked for a sporting goods chain called Big Five.
Which is based
Big
Five,
and they were all here. So I was down in Arizona, opened it up. So no, I completely understand. Yeah, I heard today, unfortunately, Santa Anita is still in trouble because they're in a city called Arcadia, which is about 5 miles, I'd say, east of Pasadena, and Monrovia is now having a fire where literally.
Oh, Monrovia?
Yeah.
Do you know in Monrovia?
Which is basically one road leads to the other. So
yes,
if you
right there in Monrovia and where the 605
Huntington is the main street.
The 605 would come up and intersect with the 210 if you were heading.
Yep.
And
correct.
I'm trying to remember, was it Monrovia?
That's almost the border. It's literally
a town,
like 2 blocks after the border. There's Monrovia, Arcadia, and then Pasadena.
Right. But there is a town I'm thinking of, and I can't remember. The Raiders were going to build a stadium right there when I was living down there. And I can't remember. It's not Monrovia. It might have been Monrovia, but it's right there. Monrovia. And then
you can take Huntington Boulevard from Arcadia and it runs into Monrovia. So when I'm hearing that, and it scares me.
Yeah.
Because Santa Anita, and then obviously what they're doing is they're canceling. Burbank Airport is still closed.
Yeah. Hey, Lou, take over. I got a phone call. My daughter's calling.
No problem.
When my daughter calls, I take it. Okay, hold on.
You got it. That's the priority. Yeah. So I'll just speak a little bit, guys, about the chat. LA, just make sure a simple text, make sure you call them. They were all here trying to help us out when we had the Napa fires, and it's awful down there. It's really bad. I have friends down in Santa Monica, Pico Boulevard by Muscle Beach. They're evacuated. Tonight they had another fire in the Hollywood Hills. If you guys know Sunset Boulevard, very famous, that's all shut down. And then where we had our fires, where we all had to wear the mask in San Francisco, it was so bad. The danger is like 120 to 180 when you inhale the fog. They're down to like 300 down there. So it's really bad. So guys, just again, simple thing. I know the holidays are over, but just let them know. Irwindale, very good, Callie. That's where they were thinking about building the stadium. Correct. That you are correct. So that's it. Hey, Wasteland Studios. No, Pete Alonso still is not there. I know we're going to be talking about the topics regarding, free agents, what the Giants can do. Unfortunately, this is really our only way unless we make a trade, because we just don't have any homegrowns. We have one guy that we're putting all our chips in on right now, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but as soon as he gets back, we're going to go over free agents. Guys, beside Pete Alonso, is there any free agent out there that you think can make a difference for the Giants? Remember one thing: if we pick up a free agent, that means someone from our 26-man roster has to be sent down. So you just can't get them. If you guys remember in Moneyball, they got all excited when they made a trade, but then you got to put somebody down. Yeah, bim, bam, boom. I'm sort of surprised Santander is still available. I like him. I think what's amazing about him, switch hits, has power, sort of almost fits exactly what we need. Sasaki, I'll say it, been saying it since day one. I think he's going to be a Padre. I don't think he's going to the Dodgers. I think he's going to go to the Padres. And then, there's always a surprise team. It's just like, you guys remember, nobody thought Burns was going to the Diamondbacks. Nobody. I don't even think any expert, and boom. So you got to think about that. Yeah, I would love Sasaki, because I definitely think we need another starting pitcher. I'm a little bit worried. Yesterday we get Verlander, but, you guys got to remember, Verlander didn't pitch in 2021. He was injured. Then he came back, had a great year, but, he only had 17 starts last year. He's up to 42. So there's a lot of things. All right. Anyone else besides Sasaki? Hey, Wasteland, you bring up a great point, but, if you sign Kim's not going to be ready until probably mid-May at the earliest. And you know how it is when you don't do any spring training because he's coming off of surgery. So, that's one thing. And, maybe bringing Fitzgerald the first. I don't know if he's ever played first base. That's the other thing. When you're in the major leagues, you just can't get forced to a position. That's why they got to experiment. That's why Casey Schmidt tried so many different positions in the minor leagues. Verlander was good in 2020. Well, I thought it was, that was 1 year back off his surgery, but 2024, he wasn't that good. He got pounded a lot, and you got to remember, Verlander signed for $15 million. When he was with the Mets, before he got traded to, I believe it was Texas, he signed a 2-year, like $75, maybe $80 million deal. Why did we get him so cheap? I'm always worried about that, guys. Rich thinks, okay. Oh, thanks, Rich. I don't know about your symbol there. We might have to change that. But, hey, you're the champions until someone knocks you out. So I'll give you that break. Hopefully, Rich, you being an LA fan, you have friends down LA. Just check in on them. You can always text them or just give them a call. Rich also says Arizona's going to regret 6 years with Burns. I don't know about that. I mean, pitching's different, but that's how it is. 6 years for a pitcher. If you can get 4 years, then it's worth the contract. Senior softball. I understand he's excited for Rich. You know, hey, you're in NorCal. That's how it is. You know, that's what makes this rivalry great. Trust me. When I go down to LA and I'm in Santa Monica, I go to an all San Francisco Giants bar where every single hamburger is named after a street in San Francisco. And I wear my Giants gear. I hear it all from LA. That's the way it's supposed to be. You know, so. All right. Well, listen, Dan's back. So we're going to go over what our topic is, guys. Dan, while you were gone, I just asked the chat, who do they want the Giants to pick up? Who would make a difference? Really, you know, Santander came up, and of course, Sasaki. So, you know, and then a couple of guys, you know, bought up.
Since we're talking Giants, Lou.
Yeah.
You know, I looked in my closet, nicely folded shirts. That this is an XL, but it really fits closer to between a medium and a large. Okay. But here they are.
So 100% cotton. Ooh.
100% cotton. These shirts, I picked them up in the Philippines. They're very tight and narrow. Okay. So if you're a big person
like me, it would not fit.
It would not fit, Lou. No, It would not fit. This XL.
But it might look good on a girlfriend, huh? Or a wife.
Yeah. It's a good,
you know, that type of body. All right.
Nice bedtime.
So is that new merch that you're going to be carrying for the channel?
I've had this. I've had this for over a year. I need to move some. We're going to get some different merch. Right. But anybody,
so is it a giveaway or what exactly?
Yeah, it's just we're just going to give it away. We're not doing no.
Give it away.
We're not going to do the
wheel.
No, because
what does the chat have to do?
All right, here's the deal. I saw this on Giant Sports Talk Live, and they do a pretty good job with it. So just somebody, the first person in the chat that comes up with the phrase, could be a place, person, or thing. First
sort
person
like
who
Groucho Marx?
Yeah, first person who comes up with the phrase, we'll give this shirt. There's the logo right there, NorCal Sports Network. We'll give that shirt away, and just, you know, I'll give you a little clue. All right, little clue. It is Giants related. There's your clue. All right, Lou, getting to who the Giants should sign, if anybody. If we let's take a look at I'm going to pull something up and see if we can.
Yeah, so I have still the top 25 free agents left, and there are a couple still left in the 25. So I assume, you know, that's sort of who, if you're asking me who I would want. I mean, I personally think, especially now where the season literally is around the corner, you could probably steal one of these free agents where instead of giving 4, 5, 6 years, you can maybe get them 2 years, you know, with a more per year. So that's what I'm sort of hoping.
Yeah. And the other thing that's kind of concerning, you know, the Giants still need pitching. I did read in some of the comments section of one of our videos earlier today, somebody mentioned that Jack Flaherty was always linked to Verlander. Wherever Verlander signed, that Flaherty would sign. And the person who wrote that in the comments just said something about the Giants' 2 previous signings, Adames and Verlander, came out of nowhere. Just like no news, nobody really linking them. I mean, Adames, people thought they might have a shot, you know, early on. But so I don't know. Do you think Flaherty? I still think the Giants' pitching is not up to par. In fact, they're ranked 22nd out of 30 teams for starters. 22nd, Lou. Right now.
And I don't even want to ask what our bullpen is. So, you know, to tell you the truth, last time I looked, pitching is like 65% of the game. You know, so I think it's pretty important. Well, you know, I mean, I didn't hear about that. I do like that because last time the Giants actually signed two free agents, pitchers. They signed 2 at the same time, which I liked. You know, when you go back a little bit, one was, of course, the wide receiver from Notre Dame. And then the other one we got from Pittsburgh, who, you know, I enjoyed. And, you know, it's just.
Oh, you mean Cincinnati, Cueto? Cueto.
Cincinnati,
You're talking about
excuse me. Yeah.
Samardzija. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's, I don't know. We definitely need it. I think they need some kind of jolt, just going into the season. It sort of reminds me, I know they're not going to do a total reload, but, we still don't have a bat. In the old days, we used to have a guy that would actually scare the other team. And, we usually had some stud of a homegrown. I always think of someone like Chili Davis that came up. Even Brandon Belt was sort of a fresh face that actually you could think would actually hit a homer occasionally. And right now we just don't really have anybody. We sort of have these guys that are a little above average, but boy, that doesn't really get you too far in, probably one of the toughest, if not the toughest division, in baseball. If you look, Colorado is definitely going to be better. They're younger, but they're going to be better than last year. I think Arizona, they definitely are going to be a little bit better than last year, and they're going to be healthier. Padres, they still have offense. They just need pitching. If they get Sasaki, that's going to be one thing. And then, of course, the Dodgers are, the giant, of the thing. So they got to do something. And you know what? It's funny. I remember a couple of weeks ago, somebody asked about the pre-thing they do for the Giants fanfare or whatever. Nobody's really excited because this team's not exciting. Nobody's wearing the merchandise. All you hear right now is nothing about the Giants. All you hear is negative about the 49ers. And normally it's not like that. This is a Giants town. You see the orange and black everywhere, and you're just not seeing it because no one's super excited.
When I was briefly living back up in the Bay Area again in 17, from June of 2017 till January, I moved back to Arizona 2018. I was just in a little transition period, and I was in Concord, and there was Giants hats all
everywhere.
Yep. Everywhere. And I was up there the last time I was up there. I just like, that was what, 23 opening day, or was it 22? Maybe 22 opening day. Yeah. 22. Even then, even after the 21 season, it wasn't that great.
No.
Yeah.
You just don't see the jerseys, anymore.
Right.
We all had favorite players growing up, and, we talked about this before, right now, you just don't see, like, the Giants don't have anyone where people are proud to wear on their back. I know people like Webb, but there's no superstars. Not like the old days, everything has changed. You see these other teams, you see the football jerseys, but, when you see like the Cubs, when you see the Dodgers, you see all these giveaways that they have. People are proud to wear the jersey, and you just don't see it right now with the Giants.
Right.
I think I've seen probably two guys actually have a knit hat with the Giants, but that's it, just because it's been cold in the mornings. Right. They don't have like the orange, the emblems, nothing. So
let's take a look at these free agents.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the free agents that's left. Obviously, Roki Sasaki, that's not coming down till after the 15th of January. You got Bregman. I don't see him as a fit for the Giants. Alonso, I think he's going back to the Mets. I would love to see them actually sign him at this point, or Santander. The Giants need
I'd love to get Santander. I'd love to get him if we could.
Okay. So let's take a look at the whole list, and then let's see.
Sure.
Let's see if the Giants will nab any of these guys. Flaherty, Kim, Tanner Scott, Scherzer, Pavetta, Profar, Hoffman, Kershaw, Yates, Estevez, Quintana, Jansen, Robertson, Andrew Heaney, Polanco, Lance Lynn, Tommy, how do you say his name? Canal? I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce that. Okay. Verdugo, Gibson, Minter, O'Hearn, Iglesias, Justin Turner, Leclerc, Martin Perez, Spencer Turnbull. Okay. JD Martinez, Randall Grutchick.
And how do they not sign Josh Bell for $6 million? The guy's a switch hitter and power. I mean, it would have been
Joe
perfect.
Kelly, Rizzo, Moncada, Tim Hill. You know what? I mean, I'm just looking down this list here. Man, there's a ton of people.
Yeah.
I could see.
I have a feeling who they're going to pick up. I got somebody that's on that list.
Let me see if I can guess.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't talked about this. I could see him going after a guy like Jesse Winker for a left-handed bat, or if they went for a pitcher, someone, I saw his name earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Carlos or Jose Quintana again. I could see something like that. What's your guy?
I'll tell you who I think they could pick up, just because they need some guy, sort of a DH, and a good guy off the bench in case there's an injury. Keep going down.
All right, hold on. Keep going down.
Roger. And he
Verdugo?
killed the Giants. Nope.
Justin Turner?
I could see them signing him a 1 year, because I think last year he played.
He's not signing any more than a 1 year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 1 year, like $7.2 million. You can probably get him 1 for $5 million. You know, he still has a little pop. He could fill in the outside. He's a good right-hand power. You know, he can still hit. He makes contact. It's not like he strikes out. But that's sort of like the Giants' sort of move. You know, you got to remember, if we're going to get another player and make a trade, and you can get someone, a leadership of him for like $4 million, you know, it's not a big thing. But that's sort of like a Giants move. We keep talking about a safe move, a safe. And then as for a pitcher, I could see him going after someone, because, you know, the guy with the goggles, Mr. Joe Kelly, you know, who's a reliever, you know, where, you know, the Dodgers are so loaded, they just, you know, they don't need him. But I could see him getting, you know, it's another safe bet. You know, that's what the Giants are doing right now. It's all about safe. They're not taking any risk. You know, guys that have, you know, that have shown in the past, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, that had talent, going on the cheap end. And if it comes to a point where we need to trade them, we'll trade them at the trade deadline. Because I think the Farhan thing at the trade deadline isn't going to happen anymore. If we're 20 games out, we're going to be giving away as much as we can. It's just, you know, part of the territory now. You know, we got to think of the future.
I think Winker might be a good fit, just because they don't have a really solid left-handed bat. Winker's kind of similar to Yaz in some ways, but yet a little bit better hitter for average. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to pull that up just to see what that looks like. I want to see how they compare, and I'll pull that up for you guys. Just,
you know, I don't want them to pick them up, but that's the type of Giants pickup. You know, especially after yesterday's pickup, it's like, all right, you know, we're, you know, I'm sort of hoping, oh, we got a new member. Hello, Ron. I would love for us to get Sasaki, you know, but, you know, we're so late in the game now. My God, you know, I think pitchers are February 2nd, they go. So it's the week before the Super Bowl. So it's literally right around the corner, you know. So if we can get them cheap, that's probably what the Giants are going to do.
Right. Well, this is interesting. Wait a minute. That doesn't make sense at all. Hold on. Okay. I screwed it up. Sorry, guys. My fault. I screwed this up. So let me go back into this and see if I can fix this.
Yeah, Dallas, yeah. I agree with you, but they've said this for the last 3 years. They're going to play the youth, and really they don't. They haven't. Now, I don't know if it was all Farhan or, you know, that was just the way it came. You know, we just don't know. But, you know, you don't sign a guy for so much money and, you know, unless you're going to do a rebuild. The problem is right now you're mentioning Matos, he's great in AAA. He just hasn't been able to perform in the pros, but he also hasn't had a chance. It's hard to know if they're a bust just because Farhan never gave these guys the opportunity. And because of that, we're now 2 or 3 years behind the process of knowing what they are. I know it's a new regime, but it's still the Giants, until they prove otherwise.
All right, here's something interesting. Let me see if I can get this. I think he's talking about, I don't know if he's talking about Winker, or let me see. Let's pull the couple here up. All right, take a look at this, Lou.
Yep.
All right, there's 2 players. Career WARs higher on the right. Home runs a little higher on the right. Stolen bases by 1. But if we look at OPS,
God, they're almost
on base percentage, look at the on base percentage. 45 points higher. Look at the batting average, 33 points higher. This is lifetime. RBIs, they're very similar. Home runs, pretty close. Hits. I mean, which player would you prefer?
Well, I'm not a big fan of WAR. I think it's sort of overrated. Yeah. I'd probably take the guy on the left. There you go.
So why are the Giants signing Yaz to $9.25 million when, unless you've got a trade set up for Yaz, I mean, Winker, Yaz gives you, the reason the WAR's higher is because of Yaz's defense.
Defense, yeah.
Okay. But let's get some guys to get on base. Winker is, I'm not sure how old he is. Let me see.
Yeah. And the thing about Yaz, we know what Yaz brings to the table. As I referred to him at the end of the season, he's dead wood. Guys, we've had Yaz for like 7 years now. It's getting ridiculous because of a name.
Winker is going to be 32 in August. I believe Yaz will be 35 in August, if I'm not mistaken. So they're 3 years apart. Winker all the way. What are you doing, Giants? Why not go out and get Winker? It's not it's not Anthony Santander, but
not a sexy name, but someone with better major
better
league.
than what you got.
Yeah. That's the one thing I don't like about the Giants. They fall in love with these guys. Late night Lamont. Okay. No. Yaz. No. You gotta move on. They're like bad relationships. It's okay to move on. But these guys fall in love with these guys.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the Roger brothers. I want to get rid of them too. We've had these guys, and if you take out 2021, we've had losing records with the same core, like 5 or 6 guys. They're older, they're not as good as they used to be, and we're stuck with them. It's horrible. Fired up. We need guys, guys that I'd be proud of to wear a jersey. None of these guys are going to wear the jersey. We got to do something, guys. Remember, we finished in 4th 2 years in a row out of 5 teams. It's not like it's, we have these guys where, we won a championship and we want to bring them back. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're bringing guys back that with low production. And
it's like today we got another crumb. We picked up another backup catcher. Alex was like all excited. I go, Alex, another crumb? I thought this ended with Farhan. And he wrote me back, well, you need depth in catcher. I go, we do? Come on.
I was going to say you do need depth at catcher. You're not going to get great catching. That's the problem. You do need depth. The move doesn't move the needle in any way, but
doesn't move anything.
You have Bailey, Murphy, and Sable. And Murphy's didn't even come back last year. So you got to get catchers. The problem with catching, I just played fantasy baseball league last year. You needed 2 catchers. Yeah. But 2 catchers. Right? Yeah. 2 catchers. It was so hard. We used to bench our catcher because we didn't want him to bat and lower our batting average. and screw up our stats. So we didn't even play one catcher. I mean, and a lot of the other players in the league were doing the same thing. There's only a handful of catchers that anybody wanted. So it's really tough to find catching. So, if you want to get to the big leagues and you can actually just hit decently, become a catcher.
I did that from 4th grade and Cub Scouts all the way through. And Dan, guess how many guys all the way through, including high school, tried out for catcher beside me?
One other.
And that was my sophomore year in high school. Freshman year, I mean, I had to catch everything, and I was pitching and catching in grammar school. And the other thing too is once you get to 7th grade, no catcher could throw to second base because now you do regulation size fields. So, it became sort of a challenge, but, since I was a big guy and, I could throw, they just stuck me back there. And, I always made the teams. Even when I played two all-star teams, there was me and one of the guys, the catchers. That was it, But yeah, I think you bring up a good point. You want to make a team, forget about the outfield, forget about like shortstop where the best player always plays. Just play the catcher. And I was lucky enough in grammar school where a buddy of mine had a Mizuno catcher's mitt. Didn't even know what Mizuno was right when it came out. It was the greatest glove I'd ever have, and he never got it back. I had it all the way through high school. So, it's one of those things.
You went up to regulation. The catcher had to take a crow hop to throw it to second.
Because it was so far, the 90 things.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Let's see what's going on in the chat here. What we got. Bub Rab says the only thing moving the needle is Matos, Jelly, Harrison, Birdsong having all-star level next year. Don't count on that from Jelly. I mean, Jelly's a journeyman pitcher, I think. He's hot, he's cold, he looks great. Last year for a period of time, he looked like, oh my gosh, he's turned a corner. And then he went back to being kind of the Jelly.
You mentioned
of old.
4 guys there. One has a slim chance. The other 3 don't have a chance at all. And that's Birdsong. If he can take a step up after last year, he could be an all-star. But guys, an all-star, you have to be great for the first part of the year. It's sort of hard. I mean, Harrison, come on, guys. Stop dreaming. Stop being a homer. If you're going to make comments like this, I'm going to get upset at some of you guys. Think wisely. Okay?
Oh, Jelly? I think he's being a little bit sarcastic here.
I don't know. With a name like Buddy Rad.
Well, what he's saying, Lou, is the only thing they're a 4th place team unless some of these guys actually produce, which is a good point. I don't see if all 4 of these guys don't break out, then we have no chance. That's what he's saying. Yeah. I think the thing with these guys, I could see Birdsong, like you said, breaking out a little bit, but I could also see, if given the chance, Matos, I don't see him being an all-star, but I do see him becoming, if given the chance, he could become an everyday player. You got to find out about Matos.
Everyday player, I'll take.
Harrison just needs to get back to what he was doing as he was coming up in the system. The Giants changed some of his.
Change him. Yeah.
And just, hey, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. He was dominating at the levels he was moving up, and then they moved him around. They changed him. So I just think they've got to give these young guys a chance. Unless you're going all in and you're going for Alonso and you got Adames and you were going to try and get a Burns and you were going to try and maybe get a Santander and you were going to remake this team all over, complete makeover, just go for the rebuild because you can't go halfway. I understand they had to get Adames. They had no shortstop. They had 0 shortstop. Luciano's not a shortstop. Fitzgerald is not a shortstop. We saw enough of that last year. They had.
And I think it's important if you sign Chapman at 3rd, you need to, you know what you need to do. You got 3rd base. You still need a first baseman. You still need a second baseman, and you need a shortstop. So now you got the right side of the diamond the 5 and 6 spot taken care of on your scorecard.
Left side.
I mean, left side. Sorry. I mean, I'm again, it's different because we're talking about that, 5 and 6 on the scorecard. We'll do that way. But, they still need a first baseman. I keep saying this, late night Lamont is not a first baseman. Okay. And if you're going to spend so much money on a Gold Glove third baseman and a solid shortstop, you need a first baseman, a real first baseman, not somebody that's half-ass. It's one of those things.
Cole says,
Cole asked a good question.
Hey, Dan and Lou, do you think the Giants would be involved in any of the starting pitcher trades for like Castillo or Alcantara now that Verlander is signed? I think a trade like that happens if a starting pitcher is traded, like Harrison. They could have signed Verlander. Remember, there's two thoughts here. They could have signed Verlander to move Hicks to the bullpen, or they could have said, hey, we're going to keep Hicks and we're going to trade Harrison and pick up a bat because you need a bat, and Harrison's going to give you the most value back. So as far as Castillo, I was kind of thinking about Castillo and thought he might be a good pickup, but I listened to some things today. His velocity has been dropping, and he's more like a number 3 starter now, maybe even a 4.
Or yeah.
Than a 2. He was a solid 2 for most of his career. I don't know it depends on what you got to give up for Castillo. I would take Castillo. I think you can get maybe 2 years out of him, but I don't know if it would be anything. You can't give up a ton to get him. As far as Alcantara, now that's the guy I would love to get. He's an innings eater and he can pitch. He's a true number 1 when he's healthy. So I would love to go see them go after Alcantara. Now, trades wise, Harrison, I think, would get you a pretty good start toward Alcantara. I really do. I think Harrison and a couple of other players, you can get Alcantara. And if you did that, then you have your 5th starter. I also think Harrison could bring you a bat. Now, I don't know why you wouldn't go after a bat like an Alonso or a Santander that's ready for the taking. So I think that's what the Giants should be really looking at, is going out, getting a bat. And, by the way, let me thank my buddy Ron. Thanks, Ron, for becoming a member. Great to see you join. Appreciate you being a supporter of NorCal sports. Thank you so much, Ron. Ron has been a OG for sure. So,
yeah.
And guys, if you want to become a member, I'm not sure exactly how you do it. To be honest, maybe producer Ryan could tell you in the chat how to become a member. Some people have asked how to do it. If you become a member,
how much is it to be a member, Dan?
It's like $4.99 a month.
Oh, that's
or
a steal.
I think if you pay for the year, you get a break. I think it's $49.99 for the year.
That's
something
a steal
like that.
Too. 15 cents a day.
But what you get as a member, we're going to be putting out some different videos that are for members only. You get more of a discount on merchandise. And as we get our merch store up and going, and we try to get those comments read if you're a member. Like, Mark, just click on the join button. Okay, there you go. There's the join
Sounds
button.
Pretty easy.
So that's how you do it. And no obligation. It's just something if you choose to do it and you want to be part of that. Like Bub Rad is a member. The only thing yep. So yeah, Bub is a member. And
no, Aaron, there is no more members lost jackets only, but that's a good one.
And Lou, Bub says he loves you, Lou.
Yeah. Takes a while. Dan, the one thing too is since we've gone since this year, it doesn't say who we are. I mean, I want to make people know that you're Dan and then I'm Lou. because the names aren't there anymore.
Why aren't their names there? Let me see.
I'm not sure, because no one noticed anything different about my name. So it gets me a little upset, but it happens. I do want to bring up one comment.
Do we get any of those old school members only Oh, there you go. Members only. That's right. We got to get. I had one of those members only jackets.
That right here, members only. One thing, Dan, is if you look at Champ 1717's comment, that's what I want. I would be happy if the Giants could do this, because I can't remember when we had that position with power. Dan, I mean, look at.
Well, I'm not crazy about that, and here's why.
Well, at least it's a first baseman and he has power. That's what I mean.
Are you trading a valuable asset like Harrison for 1 year? Because Eldridge is going to be up in 26 at the latest, and possibly some point in 25. What are you going to do with Cassis? Make him a DH? He's not that great of a hitter to make him a DH. I'd rather, if I'm going to trade Harrison, I'm going to get something that's a real need that fills in, a much bigger need. Bub Brad says Lamont Wade has a higher on-base percentage than Arias, but Arias has more RBIs. Arias could be an upgrade at first base. Yeah, Arias is available, and I heard that the Yankees were in talks, but that the Yankees, the thought was he might not be a good fit. So, yeah, Fuji Simeon, what's the plan for DH platoon? I don't know what the plan. The DH, I think the Giants, I heard Melvin in the offseason talk about DH, that they don't want a everyday DH like Soler. They want to be able to use guys at the position that maybe need a day off out in the field or something. And just like, let's say Chapman's taking a day off and they're giving Casey Schmidt the job at third base for the day. They could use Chapman as the DH. That kind of stuff exciting. Is what they're looking at. Lamont Wade, Wilmer Flores. San Diego's definitely looking to offload Arias.
DFA them all.
Cole
are you excited that Flores is coming back?
His bat speed's dropped off a lot. Dropped off a lot. So,
and I don't want him at first base again. That's what Lou's birthday present in March will be. I want a first baseman with power. That's all I want. And I will be excited to see my Giants. Instead, since we've had a DH in the National League, Giants haven't had one. We haven't tried to get one. I mean, last year, we tried to trade for Solar, but, we only had him half season, so I don't really count him. And,
been a while.
Yeah. And a first baseman with power. As Dan brought it up, we have not had a 30-run homer. Not one guy since Bonds has hit 30 homers. That's a disgrace. A disgrace. We're the only team in all the majors that haven't had one in that long. So,
I'm just looking here, the comments. So others may live. What I like about Alonso ideas for the next 3 years at the All-Star break minimum, you will have a San Francisco Giant in the home run derby and give some recognition. Oh, man. Hey, you know what? The thing with Alonso, if you sign Alonso and he's doing well and he's hitting dingers, hey, I'm Pete Alonso and I hit dingers, he's tradable. He's tradable to a contending team.
Yeah.
The Giants, but somebody made a point, I think it was George Curry, that the Giants are not going to be signing guys with qualifying offers anymore because he thinks the Giants want to draft high-end players. They've already lost 2 picks for drafting Willy Adames. I think they lost number 2 and 4, and they would lose 3 and 5 or 3 and 6 or something like that if they sign another qualifying. Maybe they lost 2 and 5 and they would lose 3 and 6. That would be 4 of your first 6 picks for a team that is got an empty cupboard. Exactly. So you know, let's see. Giants got to trade for Jordan and then drop coin on Tucker and Vladdy. You know, Giants used to be the boppers. They used to be the big boppers. Give me in the chat, give me 3 of your give me 3 guys in a lineup that you liked in the chat that, you know, when I grew up, one of the best was Mays, McCovey, Cepeda, 3, 4, 5. The Giants have had a history of having guys that had guys that bopped the ball, man. That's what you remember the old song, when the Giants come to town. It's what? Bye, baby. Yeah.
Pacific Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
Mark Graves.
Yeah. Cole says, wait, what's the question, Dan? I just said, give me your 3 favorite, you know, when the Giants were hitting the ball.
The Giants had power.
Okay, there we go. Philip.
Kent, Bonds, Burks.
Bonds, Burks. That was a great one.
They have to be Giants.
Seattle had Martinez, Griffith, Bueller. What else we got?
Yeah.
I don't see any others. Okay. Kent, Bonds, JT Snow, Nick Wise, George Curry, winner, chicken dinner. What do we got, Lou? Show them. Will or Jack Clark? Both wore number 22. We had Clark, Mitchell, Williams, or Clark, Williams, Bonds. That's right.
Anyone that said Clark, you had a chance.
Anybody who said Will Clark or Jack Clark gets the giveaway. George Curry, email NorCal Sports Network.
Was so close.
George Curry, email NorCal Sports Network. You're a winner of.
Do you have someone that'll fit?
Hopefully, you're not too wide like our man Lou there, broad-shouldered. This thing is, I'm telling you, it's an XL, but it fits more like a medium to large.
Yeah,
in
guys,
between.
Dan brought up a good point. What we're going to start doing on some of the giveaways, we're going to write down a word that me and him are going to know, and we're just going to bring up topics. So this way the chat can be more involved and vice versa. And if you come up with the code word, sort of like Groucho Marx on, what was it? You bet your life or whatever. You say the code word, boom.
I said it could be a person, place, or thing, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Lou, you're an absolute unit.
Wasn't like that growing up. I was almost too skinny.
Okay.
So, yeah, thanks, George. We want to do something different for you guys. We're going to have giveaways throughout the year. Dan found out something, last night off the air that we're going to do once the season starts. And, we're going to have fun. That's what it's all about, guys. We try to have fun on this chat. We want you guys to be involved, because it gets old if we just are so negative and, just badmouth the Giants. I mean, we want them to win. Trust me, when the Giants are winning, this show's better. After they lose 4 or 5 in a row, it's not much fun. And occasionally Dan would like to take a day off and have somebody else fill in. And, it's just one of those things. D Landing in the house. Fuji, how do you know about that? How do you know about that? Fuji, how do you what's your real name, Fuji? That's what we need to know. Who are you, an imposter? Damn right.
He knew a lot about He knew a lot about San Francisco, didn't
Fuji,
he?
did you go to school in the city? And if you did you go there? Or did you live in the city? Because, I'm a born and raised native. So, you went to Reardon. All right. No, I had some good guys that went to Reardon. And as I said the other night, and Dan sort of got a kick out of it, a guy that graduated from SI, his name was Mike Reardon, is now the principal at Reardon High School. So, yeah, deloading, I went to SI when it was still all boys. So that tells you how old I am.
We signed a guy, thank the Lord, Clayton. What's he talking about? The catcher? Or he's talking about Verlander? I'm not sure. Oh,
yeah,
Verlander.
It might be the Crumbs. Oh, okay.
Verlander, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you were in here yesterday, Clayton. I can't remember. We had so many people at the time. I think we had over 450 at one point watching the show. The
live breaking.
Our breaking live, yeah. So
that's become sort of a big thing, Dan. They know if it's Giants news or something big, go to NorCal Sports, and you're always first.
Yeah. Spencer Stewart says Dad was a cherry, Lou. 66.
He went to SI.
What is cherry? Is it
because SI our colors are look like a cherry? So that's what Sacred Heart and Reardon guys said. But like I told Los the other night, I dated the hottest girl in San Francisco that was actually sort of Sacred Heart's turf, but I wind up getting her, and it was so I walked tall. Let me put it that way, and then I showed it on the field. Yeah, Mark. I like Mark's comment there. So that meant his dad went to high school in class of 66, and he also went back in 66 where USF was, at St. Ignatius Church. That's where that's where the school was. So
it's right. SI is right near USF.
No, where USF was, that's where SI originally was.
Oh,
and then we moved out to the Sunset. Yeah. So when you go to the big church, it says St. Ignatius Church. Yeah.
Funny, because being in the East Bay, I went to the city a few times. I don't know. I had an aunt and uncle that used to live over there off of, they used the house where McMillan and wife used to film, and all of a sudden I'm forgetting the name of the street. I've told Bora.
Broadway?
No, it was close to Hyde. It was on Hyde Street.
Oh, Hyde Street. Okay.
Greenwich. It was on Greenwich. No, Greenwich. Which one's? Yeah, Greenwich is right off of
Hyde is the one where the cable car is.
Yeah.
And then there's Lombard that crosses it. But Greenwich also is a
Greenwich is perpendicular to Lombard, right? Lombard's right next.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally a block up.
Yeah. They were at the bottom of Greenwich, and I used to walk over there with them up to Swenson's Ice Cream, up the hill
right
a little bit, up Greenwich,
Hyde and Union.
Yeah, up Hyde, and then we'd walk a block or two, and then.
Yep.
But I don't know the city that well as because I didn't live in it. My thing was I used to just drive 80 to. And I used to hop over to the 280 to get to Candlestick. And then
because if you would have stayed on it, it would go to like Stonestown and Ceremony. Right. But that's you would go off 101 and it would cross 280 to the stick. That's how you had to go. And you took Candlestick Point turn off.
That's what it was. Yeah, I took Candlestick Point. And then I used to park way out there sometimes and then just the free parking kind of.
Oh, yeah.
And then here's the email, George. Pretty simple, just NorCal Sports Network @gmail.
And deloading, when I went to SI, I dominated the Notre Dame Belmont girls over Sarah, which were all boys, and Mercy Burlingame too. So I dominated the whole Bay Area when I was growing up.
Yeah, listen to this man.
The old days.
Look at this man. He's going back. Do we have any video proof of this, or was this well before? This is well before the internet. In fact, let's see if we can.
ICA St. John's Mercy. Oh yeah, Mercy right above Stonestown. Oh, there's Los. He knows, and he's all excited because I dated a Cathedral girl. Sarah was never a competition for us.
Let's see if we can. Should we dox Lou? No, we don't want to do that. Lou Marston, Director of Sales, VIP Sports Marketing. Everybody, look at this man.
Yeah, Did you see who said that? Is that a fan?
Wait a minute.
What do they want, an autograph?
Hey, Lou Marston is, why is that picture of Shanahan showing up? Lou Marston. You didn't dress up as, no, that's a different Lou Marston. All right.
How does Fuji Man? He must know who I am. How does he know about Comet of the Sacred Heart? Fuji, we must know each other some way, because nobody knows about Comet of the Sacred Heart. Nobody.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's me and Mr. Steve Kerr. That's down at Del Mar Racetrack.
Holding the tip trophy, huh? The O'Brien.
He sat down there and no one went up. And I see Steve because he shares a condo with Luke Walton. And he's always at the track with his wife, who, of course, went to U of A. And by the way, when you see Steve, I never talk politics, but he is actually super nice. Since I'm an alumni of Arizona, he always found time. Never a problem.
Robert Boyd went to Valley Christian great baseball school. That's in San Jose, I believe, right?
My God, it's the biggest high school campus I've ever seen. I went there to watch my brother play football, and I've never seen anything so big. It's like, Dan, it's so big. It sort of reminds me of like when you see Friday Night Lights, where they'll have a place that holds 30,000 for a high school. That's how Valley Christian is. I mean, just gigantic. Wow. Yeah, beautiful.
Wow.
And then in fact, when I went to school at the WCAL, Valley Christian wasn't part of it yet. So,
wow. Mark Graves was born at Mount Zion.
Mount Zion, of course.
Wow.
It's so funny. One of the things
we've got our Dodger fans in here. We got our Dodger fans
PC. One of the things too, Dan, is that we have this new rule now in California. I don't know if it's in Arizona, where you need a real ID to fly on airplanes now. And over the years with COVID, it's now by May 1st, 2025, if you don't have a California ID, which is an upgrade from the driver's license, they won't let you fly on a plane unless you have a passport. So I actually had to get my birth certificate. I had to apply for a birth certificate because that's what happened.
Wow. Yeah, the
WCAL schools
well represented well. Wow, we need to get some
big game next Tuesday.
Hey guys, anybody who has some good ideas for merch, either email NorCalSportsNetwork@gmail or put it in the chat. We've been thinking about doing some merch with different sayings, that are affiliated with the show.
There you go.
Like maybe Mr. Negative put picture of Lou on there, call him Mr. Negative, kind of stuff like that. Doesn't have to necessarily, we could put our logo on there, of course, but it doesn't have to be just a NorCal. Could have a little saying. So that would be kind of fun. Ooh, 18 degrees in Indiana for Don. Wow. Oh, that's right. We got Notre Dame football tomorrow night. That's right.
Big game. Dun, 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 dun. Play their old rivals, Penn State. Remember, Dan, growing up, how big that rivalry was? Notre Dame, Penn State, the two independents.
Yeah. Yes. Trying to look for, I don't know what, there's our names. They just popped back up. How did that happen?
Yeah, did you see I changed no more Mr. Negative for the year?
Do they go away? Oh, they go away when we have the chat up. That's why. There we go. Well, we don't want to put any more. Lou, we don't want to put any more chats up. We like watching our name in front of us.
Yeah.
Right?
Now just call me Mr. Salty. That's what they called me in high school.
Okay, thanks, George. I'll check and see if I got that just to make sure. Hold on.
Yeah.
I sent the email.
Fuji Man, you keep talking about, and we talked about this. The Padres are still going to be going all out to win. I know the ownership, they're having all this front office stuff, but, that place is so big. and a rocking place, they're gonna still put a good ballpark out.
Hey, hold on here, George. I did not get the email. It did not show up. Let me check my spam just in case. No email, George. So try it again. You might have misspelled something. Try it again. I'll let you know if I got it. So I do not have any email from George Curry.
All right, Mark, no, I was not a school bookie. I didn't bet, but I did bet the horses starting my senior year in high school because we owned a few. And, I did visit Bay Meadows on Friday nights when they had dollar beers and bands. It was a place to be.
Cole, any ETA on the package? Not nagging at all, but I'm excited. Yes, they said Monday, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes Friday or Saturday because they gave me the tracking number and said something about Friday or Monday. Monday was on the receipt, but I'll have to look and see.
Is it FedEx or through the mail?
No, through the mail.
Okay, just because right now FedEx, because if it's going to the West Coast because of the fires, everything's delayed, and because of the snow. I mean, I don't know if you guys realize the snow is so brutal in Ohio, Cincinnati, Indiana. It's crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
So, just something to think about.
Maybe I should update that for George. You know what? I bet I can make that's hard to read, NorCal Sports Network. Let me try it like this. I'm gonna do it a different way so it stands out. I should have just done you know what I should have done, Lou?
Talk to me.
For email. Probably should have. There you go. That looks a little easier to read, right?
Oh yeah.
I should have just made the email ncsn@gmail. NCSN.
That's a good idea.
Maybe I'll open that up and we can see if it's available. NCSN. So, what do we got? The network. Hey, Dan Lou, do you think Hassan Kim would be possible for second base? Heard so many Giants fans say the Giants wouldn't ever get both Adames and Kim, but maybe. I think it's a possibility that he goes back to the Padres. I thought he might go to the Dodgers but they signed Hyun-Sung Kim, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities that the Dodgers sign Kim because they can afford to let him sit until he's fully healthy. Start Mookie Betts at shortstop for the months of April and May, and then when June comes around, you get Kim. It's kind of like a midseason trade, and you add Hassan Kim if you're the Dodgers, play him at shortstop, and then you have Kim in the infield and Betts out in the outfield, and then it just gives you more flexibility. I don't know if that'll happen, but I think he might be more of a San Diego Padre again. But let's finish up here, guys. We got a couple more minutes, and we are going to get out of here. We appreciate you being part of the show. Lots of great questions. Let's see what else we've got here. Dan, can you show Adames and Sam Huff on the roster to show people what we have before I leave for bed? I don't know if I can pull up the roster on my computer here. SF Giants.
Sam Huff.
Let's see if I can pull up the 40-man roster here. It's really, let's see if they've got Huff added. Yep, they do. Okay. So let me see if I can pull this up. For some reason on my computer, Major League Baseball is really, really tiny. Whenever I go to MLB's website, I can't blow it up any bigger than that, guys. Sorry. But there's your 40-man roster. Your pitchers, Beck, Birdsong, Bivens, Black, Duvall, Harrison, Hicks, Jelly, McDonald, Miller, Ragsdale, Ray, Rodriguez, Rogers, Roop, Seymour, Walker, Webb, Wynn. Catchers, Bailey, Huff, Murphy, Sable. Infielders, Adames, Chapman, Fitzgerald, Flores, Luciano, Schmidt, VR, Wade, and Wisely. Outfielders, Encarnacion, Lee, Matos, McRae, Meckler, Ramos, Yaz. Boy, that roster gets me tingles.
And by the way, you know what really gets me excited? Did you see what our slogan is for this year below the Lee photo, Dan?
No, let me hold on here.
Just lower it a little bit below the Lee.
One second.
Tell me if this doesn't get you fired up.
The slogans on there again. It's not.
Yeah. It's right below
not,
the Lee photo. There you go, Daddy-O.
Not 3 years in a row.
Yes, 3 years in a row because they can't think of anything new. Come on, Giants. The same crap. Nothing like it.
They got to change it.
Why did you say it can't get any worse? I mean, my God, the same slogan 3 years in a row.
Okay, that is classic. That is classic. And somebody wants to know my thoughts on Sam Huff. Sam Huff. Well, he's a 27-year-old as of next week. He'll be 27 on the 14th. He was born in Phoenix, drafted by Texas in the 7th round. He has, let's see, last year, Huff had a whopping 3 at-bats. In 23, he had 43 at-bats. In 22, he had 121 at-bats. Got a 258 batting average lifetime. 10 home runs, though, in 214 plate appearances. A little pop. I would think, I don't know much about Sam Huff to give you a great evaluation, but my guess is that he could press Murphy for the backup position, being that he's a little younger. Let me see what his K rate is, too. They like Murphy because of his home run potential. He had some power. Let's see. Sam Huff in 214 plate appearances lifetime has 72 strikeouts. Divide that by 214. Yeah, he fits right in with the ball club, Clayton. He's got a 33.6% K rate. Fits right in with Buster's new theme of making more contact. So he does have some home run pop, but 33.6% K rate, that's a little high. Godfather.
Another crumb we get off.
All right, there he is. Break. Godfather. He played football at the WCAL for Archbishop.
Now, isn't the Godfather the guy that's in the Philippines?
Yeah. Hey, when I come over, I'll give you something made in the Philippines, Godfather. When I come over in June, I'll bring some.
Oh yeah, isn't he the guy that wants the hat that says NorCal so he can wear it proud?
I sent the hat to Cole.
Okay.
I'll get some more hats.
Hats. Archbishop Mitty.
Okay, Aaron says that was his fantasy baseball team name last year. Nothing like it. And Aaron, I hate to say it, but you kind of finished in the standings similar to the nothing like it's.
Yeah, hello?
You'll have.
Yeah, I will ask Dan. Okay. God, I hate it when the chat calls me. People want to know, are you going to try to defend your title for the fantasy baseball next year? And how do you get on it? And how can you be part of it? Do you have to be a member? I don't know these tricks or trades.
No, you don't have to be a member. I've got to make a decision in the chat if we want to do fantasy baseball.
I know it's tough for you, man. I mean, that
it took.
I mean,
I just get too obsessed with it, and I don't know. Maybe if we partner up, maybe we'll do it. Yeah, Jake. Look at Jake's comment. We won't put that one up there in the chat, but yes, it is true, Jake.
Yeah, the fantasy is free. Of course, it's free to join, but there is a prize at the end of the road.
Yeah. Mark says, Dan, you are too busy to do it. It's
because he's blowing up. He gets too
Carlo
involved.
P, count me in. What was Carlo's name? What was your name last year, Carlo? He finished near the top of the standing. I can't remember his name. But yeah. Anyway. Robert Boyd, Dan called me or messaged me every day for trades. I did it to everybody in the league.
I remember you'd be on the air and you'd be literally doing three things on the phone, talking to the commissioner why he won't do the trades. You're trading your whole team for two people.
If you could add one, if you can improve a little bit at each position, this is why I think the Giants should be trying to get like a Jesse Winker, because he's an improvement over Yaz. And then, okay,
which we need.
Move off of Yaz then. Get some of these guys.
Yep. Jeff Wong.
I'll listen to producer Ryan. I'll be playing and dominating. Oh my goodness, Ryan. I will get my money back.
Golden State Warriors.
I will get my money back from you for sure. For sure. The money I just paid you for the Denver Conkos, I will get my money. That's right. Webb's Killer Whales. That's right. That was the team.
Oh, great name.
Oh, Dan had his glove over his mouth. We know you were making a deal. Yeah. We won't be doing that. Well, our lives will be fun. Our lives are going to be shorter. In fact, we're done for tonight, guys. We're trying to keep our lives to an hour and 15 minutes or less. So, guys, check out our videos we got coming out. We'll have some more videos out tomorrow, and we'll be back live. I think we got a Warriors post-game show tomorrow. What time do they play? Let me see here. Tomorrow, I think they're NBA. They play at okay, so 6:30. Maybe we'll do a short. I'll have to ask producer Ryan if we do this. Should we do a short live at 7
and Notre Dame game?
Well, what time's the Notre Dame game?
That's at I believe at 4:30. So we're going to be conflicting.
Oh, geez. All right, we'll do a very short Warrior. I may not even. We'll see. So 4:15. That means it'll end at 6:30, Ryan. Or let me see. NBA tomorrow, Thursday. Yeah, it starts at 4:15. They start at 4, they call it. So it starts at 4:15. It'll be over by 6:30. So look for us tomorrow. George. Oh, let me check, George, if I got your email. I got it, George. I got it. All right. There we go. Love it. Okay. Going to the city. Okay.
Dan, cool. There was one question by Jake regarding Marty Lurie.
Yeah. Is Marty coming on for Hall of Fame ballot comes out? We'll get Marty on. Marty and I will we'll either do him being on NCSN, or we will have Marty and I do a collab. Okay. So, yeah, perfect, George. I got it. I'll mail it out this week, and you should get it sometime next week. So, hope it fits, or someone else you have in mind it'll fit for. But, yeah, we got all kinds of different colors. My wife's got it. So, Lou is the best, Jake says. Giants are rebuilding. They need to rebuild. They do need to rebuild. All right, guys, we're out of here. Thanks for being part of NorCal Sports Network. Give the show a like if you would. We really appreciate that. Giving the show a like doesn't cost any money, and it helps us get the channel out to more people. So we know you don't have to, and we just are grateful and appreciative if you do. So anybody watching on X, hey, come on over to YouTube and subscribe. The majority of people that watch the channels, all channels, not just NorCal Sports Network, do not subscribe. So if you would subscribe, it would be great, because we try and put out a lot of content that goes out only on YouTube. And those of you who are watching right now on X, you're missing out on a ton of videos that go out on YouTube every day, talking
3 a day, I think.
Giants baseball. It could be other baseball, anything affiliated with Major League Baseball, NBA, could be football. We put out videos, guys, but you're not going to get them if you're not going to get notified if you're not subscribed. So that's the message for those that are not subscribed. And we do appreciate everybody out there for your subscribing to the show. So thanks again, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great Thursday. Take care, and say some prayers for the people out in Southern California. Pray for some protection for them, and that these fires will get put out and the winds will calm down, and maybe some rain over there would help. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again for watching.
Thanks, Chad.